Hi, I'm Zach with Josh's Frogs. Thinking about bringing poison dart frogs home? I can understand why. They're amazing pets. They're brightly colored. They're active during the day. They're entertaining to watch. Their naturalistic vivaria full of live tropical plants can literally be a work of art that lights up any living space. But these are living things, and with that comes responsibility and specific care needs. So there are a few things you should consider before bringing poison dart frogs home. Toxicity. In captivity, poison dart frogs are harmless. They glean their toxic characteristics from a diet of various insects and arthropods found in the jungles of Central and South America. At this point in time, it is not possible to make a captive-bred dart frog toxic. Even with wild-caught frogs, they tend to lose their toxicity over a period of months when they are subject to a captive diet. Buy captive-bred. Captive-bred, or sometimes seen abbreviated as CB dart frogs, are much better suited for life in captivity. They are already used to the confines of a vivarium and are generally much bolder and more readily settle into a new environment. Captive-bred dart frogs are also much healthier than their wild-caught brethren. Parasites are less of an issue, and captive-bred frogs never had to undergo the stress of being caught, held, then shipped to another country. There are also less environmental concerns with captive-bred frogs. The frogs are not being directly removed from a potentially declining wild population just for your enjoyment. Every captive-bred frog purchased is one less wild-caught frog removed from its natural habitat. All frogs offered by Josh's Frogs were bred here by us for you. We have a strict quarantine practices in order to maintain a ranavirus and chytrid-free facility. When you purchase frogs from Josh's Frogs, you're not only getting captive-bred frogs, you're getting the best. Longevity. Being that they are relatively small, it may come as a surprise that dart frogs can live for well over a decade. It's not uncommon for thumbnail dart frogs, those of the genus Ranitomea, to live upwards of a decade. Larger frogs, such as tinks, Dendrobates tinctorius, can live well over 2 decades. There are reports of Aratus living well over 25 years. Make sure that you take this into consideration before purchasing a dart frog. It may very well be with you for the next couple decades. Temperature. Dart frogs, hailing from Central and South America, require certain temperature ranges to stay healthy. Unlike us, dart frogs, along with all other amphibians and reptiles, are exothermic, commonly referred to as cold-blooded. This means that they cannot control their body temperature and are dependent on their environment for staying within a set temperature range. As a general rule, you want to keep dart frogs between 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, with a temperature drop during the night. Some species, such as Phylobates or Epipetabates, prefer it slightly cooler. Temperatures over 80 degrees Fahrenheit can stress your frogs, and higher temperatures can quickly lead to their demise. Make sure you're using a thermometer to measure vivarium temperatures. Keep in mind that your future frog companions will depend on you to provide the proper temperatures for them. In some parts of this country, this may mean running a furnace or air conditioner when you normally would not, leading to additional energy expenses. In the event of a power failure in winter or summer, you may need to find a refuge for your frogs with more stable temperatures, such as a friend's house or hotel room. Housing. A properly set up living vivarium is a work of art. It can contain various orchids, bromeliads, mosses, ferns, water features, and all the characteristics of an imaginary tropical oasis that we have in our minds. A vivarium can easily be the focal point of any room and a topic of conversation. Although much less expensive than actually traveling to the habitat it attempts to emulate, setting up a vivarium is often not a cheap endeavor. It requires both money and experience, either first-hand or learned, to be successful. It's common to spend more on a vivarium than you would on the frogs. For novices, a 20 high to 29-gallon glass aquarium, or one of the many glass terraria available on the market, make for a great start to your first living work of art. Feeding. Even though many poison dart frogs can reach a size of 2 to 3 inches, most will not readily consume prey over 1/8 of an inch in length. As a general rule, you'll be responsible for providing a varied diet of small fruit flies, crickets, springtails, isopods, and the like to your inner wards. Fortunately, these foods are readily available from a variety of online sources, such as joshsfrogs.com, and some pet stores have even begun to carry them. Most are also easily cultured cheaply at home. If you have a fear of bugs or are unwilling to have them in your home, dart frogs may not be the pet for you. Maintenance. One of the many pluses of a living vivaria is that they are relatively low maintenance. This does not mean that they are maintenance-free, however. Chores such as misting, feeding, pruning plants, cleaning glass, and the like will have to be done on a regular basis. Save yourself some hassle and make a more stable environment for your frogs by investing in a quality timer for the lights. Time will also need to be spent every week making new cultures of feeder insects, and if you're lucky enough to breed dart frogs, caring for the eggs, tadpoles, and resulting froglets. Expect to spend about 30 minutes a week taking care of a single vivarium. It's not a bad idea to make a list of weekly chores that need to be done. Expense. The dart frog hobby can be an expensive one. Currently, most dart frogs are in the $30 to $70 range. A vivarium can easily cost you from $100 to several $100s to set up and maintain. Additional electricity and water will be spent on maintaining the vivarium and its inhabitants. There will be cost involved with procuring food for your pets. Some of these can be offset by you making your own cultures at home. Although not expensive to maintain in the long run, initially preparing for dart frogs in a home can be a costly undertaking. Keep in mind that this is an investment. You're setting up something that will bring years of enjoyment and is very inexpensive to maintain and feed. Ultimately, you are responsible for the well-being of your future froggy pets. You will have to not only feed them, but ensure that they have everything they need to be happy and healthy. An enclosure will have to be constructed with their needs in mind to provide a secure environment in which they can grow and prosper. That being said, I hope you decide to pursue poison dart frog ownership. It is a very rewarding endeavor and can lead to many more additional interests. For those of you with children, caring for animals can teach many life lessons difficult to teach anyway else. The vivarium itself is something wonderful to have in a home or office. It brings a slice of nature into an otherwise structured and artificial world. So have you considered your options? Have you looked at the pros and cons and decided that poison dart frogs are the perfect pet for you? Then jump on over to joshsfrogs.com today. We have a wide variety of all the supplies you need, feeder insects, live plants, as well as healthy captive-bred frogs produced by us for you.